to being really successful and achieving those big goals is just achieving things 1% at a time. Hi, I'm Emily with Cloth and Paper. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how I use the 1% rule and micro goal setting to help manage my ADHD so I can achieve my long-term goals. If you have ADHD, and probably even if you don't, long-term goal setting can be really challenging and sometimes lead to a lot of disappointment. You know how it is. You get really excited about a goal that you want to achieve. Maybe it's going on an expensive vacation or saving a lot of money, losing 50 pounds, writing a book, or some other large-scale goal you get really excited to do, and then you set out to do it, and it becomes so overwhelming and defeating because you're not able to get any instant gratification. So this is where things like the 1% rule come in clutch. Someone with ADHD, the struggle is even worse because our brains need dopamine to stay motivated. If a goal is too far away, we get discouraged or we lose interest, and our brains begin to rebel and refuse to do brain things until we find something to release that dopamine. That's why I want to talk to you about the 1% rule. I discovered it when I was reading a book called Atomic Habits, which is a great book. In this book, the author explains that the key to being really successful and achieving those big goals is just achieving things 1% at a time. Imagine that you are standing on a football field. You are in one end zone and you're looking all the way down the field at the other end, and it seems so far away. But just imagine if instead of 100 yards away, you just had to go 1 yard, just 1 yard, a few steps. You're just going that one step. And when you get to that first yard, then the next yard appears and you're just going 1 yard at a time until you get all the way to the goal. That's essentially how the 1% rule works. This method is especially effective for people with ADHD because then we're able to have the reachable, achievable goals that give us dopamine and help us feel encouraged as we strive towards those bigger goals. I'm going to give you some practical ways that I implement this in my regular planning and goal setting, and hopefully that will give you some tips and tricks and maybe some of your own ideas of how you can make this concept work for you. First step for goal setting, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you have ADHD or not, the first step is to write it down. If you are not writing down your goals, you are doing yourself a disservice. I don't care if you're writing it in your planner or notebook or a whiteboard or on the back of your hand. I don't care. Just write it down. Because when you put that goal on paper in ink, it becomes real. It becomes permanent. Trust me, writing it down is key. For me, there's a couple of places that I write things down because there's a couple of different ways that I tend to do goal setting. The first thing that I use is this little ensemble notebook. I have decorated it, customized it a bit, which is one thing that I love about these simple notebooks because you can turn it into whatever you want. And I turned it into what I affectionately call my side quest journal. If you have ADHD, you probably know what a side quest is. So I have different tabs for different things, but we won't go into all of that today because that's an entirely different video. But in here, each month I have a page that I lay out and I write all kinds of things. Sometimes it's goals, sometimes it's just things I need to do. One thing I already did was the kids' closet clean out, but oftentimes I'll write things in here that I want to turn into goals. I'll look at something and think, oh yeah, I really do want to put that on my to-do list. An example of that would be this over here. This is a book project that I want to work on, which would be perfect to break down and do over time. This is more of the fun place that I put my goals and write things down and get some creative ideas. So that's one. This is the other place I write more formal goals, I guess you could say. As you can see, I've already worked on July. I try to do this once a month before the start of each month. This is what I'm working on for July. I've already written down a few things, as you can see. I use these page pins to indicate different categories. So like this category would be personal, this would be work, and this is where I put like the pie in the sky type of goals, things that are definitely bigger and, take a little bit more to do. I will also look through this, and I really want to get all of these things into a category. So in this case, I'm looking for things that work for the 1%, because sometimes I'm looking at things and I'm like, oh, well, that's a goal that I can achieve kind of quickly, or maybe this is a goal that's going to work better for the snowball task method. If you don't know what that is, we have another video on our channel that can explain that for you. But in this case, I'm looking for larger goals that I would want to break down into those little biteable pieces over a long period of time. On this list, it might be something like Euro summer. That's a really big goal to do. It takes a lot of money. I have kids, so there's a lot of logistics and passports and things involved. So that would be one that I would break down over time, really over the entire course of the year. So that's one that would work for that, for sure. So number 1, write it down. Write it down somewhere, anywhere. Please write it down. Now, number 2, really this is the last step, because this is only a 2-step plan because nobody's got time for 10 steps. Number 2, grab whatever it is you use to plan. For me, it is this half letter disc bound. So as you can see, I have gotten this open to a new month, fresh week, just starting out. Some people might want to do this every single week. I'm not those people. I will do this at the beginning of each month for all 4 weeks just to make sure that I actually do it, because otherwise I'll get really inconsistent. So know yourself and know what you can do there. For now, I'm just going to focus on this week, and I'm going to go over the 2 different kinds of inserts that I tend to rotate and I typically use for this process, and show you how I use the different ones because it makes sense to me. If something else makes sense to you, change it up however you need to. Also, if you have other inserts that you're using, or maybe some DIY tips, please drop them in the comments. I love to read them. It really helps everybody in the community. We love it. So first one, this is our routine builder inserts. I would use these for long-term goals that have to do a lot of times with like health and fitness, like losing weight, taking vitamins, things that really you're building a habit, you're building a routine. So this is something that I would use this for that, because that makes sense to me. There are a lot of ways that you can do this. I would start by putting this in between each week. So we'll just do this one for now. So for this one, let's go back to taking vitamins. I absolutely never remember to take anything that I'm supposed to remember to take. This is really helpful with that. I might write down vitamin D. That was one that I started taking recently, and this is the system that I use to help me remember to take it. So taking vitamin D, stretching, that's always been a goal for me. And you notice I'm putting it in morning, afternoon, and evening so that I can really see it. A lot of times I personally don't put anything in the evening spot, because by evening I'm not really looking at my planner. So again, know yourself, know how you plan. You write your goals in there, whatever works for you. And then I love this because it's so simple and it's so laid out. And you guys know that I love things that are simple and easy and fast, because I have zero amount of patience. So then I just go in here, and you can track a lot of different ways. For me, I'm a little bit quirky, and I don't tend to use as many dots for things like this, because I like to have something that makes me feel happy. So, I might decide like, oh, I'm going to put a smiley face on all the days that I do it. And I probably won't put a sad face on the days that I don't, because that makes me feel sad and I don't like that. So I might just put like a slash or whatever works for you. So you just go in and you just mark it however you want to mark it. There are no rules here. There's no right, there's no wrong. It is whatever works for you, will keep you motivated, makes you happy. If you like to use stickers, use those. If you need to get yourself a pack of gold stars like it is 5th grade and use those, do that. I personally wouldn't do it, but if it works for you, like, go and be blessed. Go do it. And that's really all that there is to doing this insert. And again, I personally put one on each week. I do realize that there is one on this side and one on this side, but for me to actually do it, I have to have one in each week. And I don't typically use this back side, so I'll keep it and I'll use it for like scratch paper or extra note paper. When I've gone through this and I look at this, I like to do something up here in this area so I can see it, just so I can know if I tracked the goal. So that's how I do it, is I'll draw another like symbol here. And for me, I don't need to do 100% of everything. If I'm getting a B, I'm a happy girl. Another thing that you could do if you are so inclined is you can also keep track of this on your monthly. I've seen a lot of people do that. And that's just where you reach the end of the week and you can give yourself, you know, whatever score or grade or whatever it is that you want at the end of the week to say, hey, you know what? I did achieve this or I did not. So I'm gonna give myself a big gold star, or pink star rather. It's not the greatest star, but you know, I'm in marketing. I'm not an artist. I do my best. So that is the routine builder insert and how I use it. Again, use it however it works for you. There are a million different ways that I have seen this insert used that is brilliant. So do what works for you. Now I'm going to show you the second method that I use, and this is what I'm currently using right now for some goals that I am tracking. Now we have the bigger goals, such as writing a book. We'll use that because that's easy math for me to do on camera. So for that, I would use these. These are the half-page ritual inserts. I love these for so many things. I feel like you can use these for so many things, but we're going to use them for this right now. I love a good half-page insert because I like the way that it fits in the planner. It's so easy and I could still kind of see everything. So I really am falling in love with the half-page anything, really. So I think that's why I really got turned on to these. I'm going to show you the way that I lay it out. As I said earlier, it's going to be really easy. I love making goal setting really easy, really attainable, and quick to do because I feel like that helps me be more consistent. So I'm going to use this. We're going to say that I'm writing a book and I'm going to use this to track it. And you can use this for 2 goals because you do have 2 sides here if you want to, or you can add several. Maybe you're super ambitious and you need like 10 of them in your planner. And if that's you, like good for you. Please make a tutorial and tell me your secrets because I would like to know. But for now, we're just going to stick with the one and go with that. So what I would do first is I would write down the goal on the top. In this case, I'm saying that I want to write a book. So that means that I'm going to write 100,000 words. You know, draw something decorative around it. I'm not that great of an artist, but I still like to doodle, so you'll see those all over my planners. That's maybe the weirdest heart I've ever made, so that's fun. So the goal is to write 100,000 words. To break that down into 1% at a time, that means that I would be writing 1,000 words every day that I am writing. And if that's too much for you, don't be afraid to do the 0.5% rule. In that example, maybe 1,000 words is too much. Don't be afraid to break it down to 500. It doesn't really matter how much you need to break it down because it's about progress. It's about moving forward. So in this case though, I'm going to write 1,000 words a day. And what I'm going to do and how I set it up is I will just write the days of the week. I'm not going to write Saturday and Sunday because I don't plan to write on Saturday and Sunday because Mama's brain is tired. I'm done at that point. I'm just going to write the days that I intend to work on the goal. And for some people, that may not even be every day of the week. That may just be 3 days a week, and that's completely fine. Whatever works for you. As I achieve it, you can check it off. You can give yourself a little star. You can grab markers and make little smiley faces. Whatever makes you happy when you look at it, that's the key there. Another thing that I will do on these pages that I think is really important so that you can see your progress is I will monitor my progress in this area here, or sometimes on the back, depending on the type of goal that it is. So let's pretend that I started writing last week. In theory, I should have 5,000 words done from last week, but maybe on one of the days days, I only got 500 words because I got interrupted or something came up with work or whatever. So I only got 4,500 words last week. What I would do is I would just keep track of that. I want to know that I got 4,500 out of 100K. Whenever I'm done with these days, I'll add it to that and then I'll put it on the next week. So I'm really tracking that progress and I can see how far I'm getting. And if you want to get fun with it, you can even make yourself a little progress bar and fill it in each week, or put it on a sticky note and have it travel week to week. I've done that before and it makes it kind of fun. So anything you can make it fun and interesting is going to really help your brain engage. So that's really it. That's all there is to it. It's a really simple ideology, and learning it has helped me in so many areas of my life, not even just in planning. As I'm going through every day, it's helped me train my brain on how I can break things down to feel more achievable and really focus on the progress towards the goal more so than the goal itself. So I invite you to try this out. If you have other things that you have tried that work really well, please share them in the comments. If you have questions, please share them in the comments. We read every single comment that you guys make on every single social platform that we have. So please comment. We love hearing it. And I hope you join us next time for some more ADHD hacks.